Hi, everybody. Welcome to Camille's Harem, not only a podcast for novice writers, a YouTube channel for novice writers, and I'm not Lars. So, it's my turn to run the book cover. Book cover is going to be what I'm going to call it this week, and I decided to go with Please Don't Tell My Parents I'm a Supervillain by Richard Roberts, which, especially for the times nowadays where everybody's stuck at home, you're not necessarily encouraged to go outside and buy books, even though you really freaking want to. You can go on Amazon because that's the only place to get a copy of this book. It looks like the author just literally put it up on Amazon, but it is probably one of the best, self-published books I've ever read in a while. Just very quirky, very fun. That's just kind of the initial kind of look at it. Here's a quick synopsis. So basically, Penny, she's the daughter of two of the most well-known heroes in LA. Admittedly, they're retired, but they're still very involved with the hero community in Los Angeles. When she awakens her power, she finds out, she's a mad scientist and can create all these really cool, wacky inventions, and ends up accidentally falling into the role as a supervillain and just kind of all of the fun shenanigans that go from there. You've got her two best friends who end up joining her. One awakens her own superpowers, as well as Penny making special serum to give the other one super strength. So you've got the whole crew there, and they get to go around as what they call the inscrutable machine, doing all sorts of fun villainy stuff. There were three main things that I thought were just wonderful about this book. It gets a 4.2 on Goodreads. I completely agree with that. Beautifully done book, though you kind of have to read all 5 in the series in order to get the full story. But the three main things that I really loved about it is it has wonderful, power setup. There's so many different characters, all of them have really cool, wacky abilities, and just seeing that, the hero, villain formula work together like it does is beautiful. If you haven't read the book and you don't want to get spoiled yet, you can go ahead and stop now. Just take my recommendation. Go over to Amazon, get the books. They're really not that expensive. But I'm going to dive right in. The three main things is just kind of how willing the author is to give Penny, the main character, all of these cool gadgets. That's her superpower, is to make these cool things. She gets a lot of them, but in order to keep that power balanced, they also break quite a bit as she gets into all sorts of wacky fights. And I think that's beautiful. She's got one machine that she uses basically for everything. It's her kind of go-to. But then everything else is kind of catch as catch can. And it's wonderful seeing all these cool ideas get put into the story as you go along. The second one is just kind of the world building, and it's really just the city building, because it's just one specific city, namely Los Angeles, that it's focused on. That focuses on how that world has changed, because there's actually rules laid down. The villains have certain guidelines they have to follow, or else there's serious consequences from both the heroes and the villains. And the heroes have the same, actually. And so it keeps them on even footings, namely the villains aren't allowed to attack or kidnap or harm children, and the heroes won't come after them and purposefully reveal their secret identities. And I think that's beautiful. It goes down to the societal level, how much that matters, and the author does a wonderful job in how he goes about all of that. The third thing that I love, and it's probably the main thing that makes me love this, is just the character voice. I didn't really notice it until I read the prequel book that Richard Roberts writes, which is, I promise I didn't give that spider superhuman intelligence. And it's just how wonderful it is to have the main character point of view done through the eyes of an actual character, and you actually get to feel that in the writing, not just in what the character's saying, but in how they describe the world around them that they're seeing, and it's stunning. It's what makes this story just really pop. I get excited about all the superhero, superpowers, all that kind of stuff, but it's really the character voice that made this for me. So, if you're writing a superhero book, just kind of take those 3 things into consideration. Make sure you keep that power balance well and truly balanced. And then from there, really build that world up. Have a lot of different characters that affect the whole world as it goes. And then have fun with the characters that you make. I mean, superhero stories, you can really go all in on the actual, like, hero's mindset and whatnot. That's what really makes stuff like that interesting nowadays. So I feel like that's what we should be doing, what we should be focusing on. As always, just leave a review in the comments. Please check out the actual podcast. We're trying to get more episodes up, especially as the whole quarantine stuff is going on. So please like and subscribe and enjoy all of the other content that mainly Lars make, though I hope I'm able to get involved with more of it here in the future. All right, thank you and have a wonderful day.